positives and negatives of the spiritual awakening. Hi, we are Trinity Oracles. We are 3 psychic sisters. I'm Candace. This is Erica. This is Jasmine. I just noticed we're all in pink today. But anyway, enroll in the Oracle Card Readers Academy. Subscribe to our Patreon channel and book your reading below today with Trinity Oracles. And let's get started.
Yes. Okay. Let's talk about this. So the positives of a spiritual awakening, you become closer to God.
Source, Buddha, table, aliens, whatever you believe in.
You just start knowing that something is higher than yourself.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. But you know what? You also become closer or become more aware of your spirit guides, guardian angels, even deceased loved ones.
Ancestors.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Some people start noticing that they're like a medium and they didn't even know.
Mm-hmm. Or a channeler.
Mm-hmm. For real.
Or they can read, or read cards.
Exactly. Like all of a sudden their hands start getting hot, different things like that.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people always felt like, you know, they need to get close to God and, you know, waiting to their spiritual gifts, and this spiritual awakening allows them to do that without, you know, feeling bad about it.
But you know what? If you notice that you tend to get hot when you get near sick people or lower vibrational people, but mostly sick people, or you start sweating. No, not like
no, I didn't know about the lower vibrational people. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You're actually, little did you know, you're actually sending healing energy to them. So you're transmuting the energy, and sometimes that healing energy is actually going to that person. Like when I do energetic healing work, I actually start, when it's like deep, I start sweating, I start getting hot. Like my hands start getting clammy, like my face will just start like sweating.
Okay, so put your fan on.
Yeah, and even the spirit just reminded me, they say even those who get in, if you're doing readings, if you notice you start getting hot, you are actually emitting healing energy to the client. Unconsciously, so you got to get it under control because you can get drained very, very quickly.
And we teach that in our Oracle Card Readers Academy, how to protect your energy.
Exactly. And that's one of the problems with empaths.
Okay. So people, during a positive spiritual awakening, people start becoming open to trying new things. Things they've been putting on the back burner, they're all of a sudden like, let me try something new because I might like it. Or I've dreamt all these things. They start doing it and they start feeling better. They experience more joy and more peace in their lives.
And stuff, they're like, you know, I never would have thought I was into painting. You know what? You can get a paintbrush and you can paint for hours, or I don't know. Just things that they're like, you know what? I never thought I would be interested in this. I always felt pulled to this. I never did it until now.
Yeah, and they said prayer. Like some people may be like praying, and it's like, okay, you're praying to be healed, or pray to be open more to your guides. You're praying for this new job, and it's like, oh, well, now that you're more open to things, go to the Reiki person.
Or get a deck of cards, learn how to read cards. Because your cards might tell you, like, hey, maybe you are applying for the wrong job, or you've been trying to apply for that same job for years, you don't get it. Maybe you're applying for the wrong company. Or maybe you're just you're on the wrong life path.
Exactly. Or go to the natural path. Yeah, go to the natural path. Go to the shaman. You start being more open to alternative forms of healing, thinking, ways of being.
Absolutely. You start obtaining more knowledge. Very important. People start reading the Bible. People start reading spiritual texts. They start going to what do you call it?
Psychic classes,
spiritual
psychic
conferences, psychic schools. Yes, absolutely.
Meditation classes, yoga.
The Oracle Card Readers Academy.
Yoga.
I'm gonna say like that, yoga. That's what they do. So people also start eliminating and becoming awakened to how many people are toxic in their life. They start eliminating toxic people.
I've heard a lot of people say when they become spiritually awakened, they said that they become way more aware of generational curses within their family, and they're like, look, I'm not going to do that. Everybody else says that, but I'm not going to do that.
And then they do the work. They say go to a shaman or someone like that to actually get it removed, so that they can, you know, get closure, move on, become unstuck, and, you know, move on with their life.
But spirit is actually reminding me in my ear. They're saying, like, when it comes to toxic people, one thing that, especially when you're going through a spiritual awakening or a lot of spiritual newbies, and they start recognizing toxic people in their life, is yes, they start removing them, but then there's the other side. You need to do an assessment. Is spirit trying to teach me how to
learn with them,
how to thrive when I'm around people who don't believe in what I believe in? Sometimes people aren't toxic, but you deem them toxic because they don't see your viewpoint. They don't believe in what you believe in. So you, quote unquote, are trying to get yourself to get into a group that is pretty much like trying to get your tribe. But spirit is also, there's a lesson. You cannot run away from every person in every situation just because you, quote unquote, think they're toxic. That person may not be toxic. The situation may not be toxic. You might be toxic.
They got mirror work or people.
So even with that, even with aligning, trying to align, finding out like toxicity, sometimes you might be like, oh man, I can't talk to this person a certain way. Let me change what I do, or change something. Maybe stick up for myself more. Maybe you know how you're kind of when you're more awakening to yourself. You're like, okay, maybe I don't need to do that.
Yeah. Because spiritual awakenings also teach you to self-judge. Like, whoa, like, let me see where I'm toxic. It's not always about letting go of toxic people and toxic situations. It's also about let me let go of toxic belief systems, toxic ego, toxic mental states, even toxic body. I need to get healthy. A lot of people tend to start going through spiritual awakening. They start becoming more aware of their diet, their skin, the way they like, oh, when I eat this, you know, I become unhealthy. So there's lots of great benefits to a spiritual awakening.
You start doing detoxes, intermittent fasting.
I need to do a detox.
Good luck. I almost passed out on it. I survived for like 23 hours.
I don't know how people do like water fasting.
I ended up eating
That's
steak
crazy.
at night. Like 11 o'clock at night, I ate a steak. I couldn't do it. I'm toxic. Just joking. Nah, just joking. I couldn't do this too much. So people actually start to try to align with their life purpose, which is very positive. People tend to try to be around more positive people. People start going in nature more, which is very important. Grounding is so important for a spirit. Just not even to spiritual awakening, just day-to-day life. It's just important to get into nature, touch nature. Very important. But especially if you are on spiritual awakening and you start to meditate, you read cards and stuff like that, you need to ground yourself. Because you need to be here, not up in the clouds all the time.
And we actually, in our Oracle Card Readers Academy, we actually teach about different effective grounding techniques, because there actually are a couple different ones, and they're exclusive to our class.
Okay. So,
also, sorry to interrupt, also with nature, Spirit keeps saying that when you get more into nature, it's almost like you kind of realize that there's, we're like one with nature. Instead of being like, oh, people are afraid of water. You know, you get in the water, you're like, you know what, this is movement, this is flow, a tree's grounding, you know, the bugs might be, you know, we're be afraid of bugs, but you're like, you know what, they're here, they're there, they're having their life experience too.
But you can't be a fool with spiritual awakening too.
Absolutely.
Because that water will kill you. Don't go too far in that ocean.
Exactly. That cute little coyote in your neighborhood might have rabies.
Thank you.
But coming up is why you should be aware of those things too.
Yeah, so we're talking about awakening and being aware of people's intentions. So you start listening to your intuition and stop ignoring your intuition, especially that gut feel. Like the gut feeling is the intuition. You stop ignoring that gut feeling. You're like, let me stay away from that person,
or let me not walk down that road. Let me not go in the water. It looks a little, yeah. So listening to your intuition is on the list, and then you also start becoming aware of spirit guides, angels, and there's more to life that meets the eyes. And that is so important.
Exactly.
Okay. Anything to elaborate on that now?
No.
Let's get into the negatives. So, people who start a spiritual journey, the negatives are they start believing anything. Anything they read, anything they see on the YouTube videos, on Instagram, they believe anything. And
From spiritual people.
Yes, and some of those spiritual people do like to manipulate people for money.
They use a lot of psychology.
And some also do hypnosis.
Yep.
So, and then what also happens is people will have intuition that this person's not right, or maybe this book's manipulating them, and they actually ignore it because they're so into their spiritual journey, they ignore it.
A quick story about being taken advantage. One day I was getting Reiki from this lady one time, and I'm highly aware of what goes on in the spiritual world from the negative aspect, you know. Had to go through that so you learn.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid. Anyways. It gives you more knowledge, which gives you more power. But this lady was doing Reiki on me, and I started sensing her intention being put on me of trying to intentionally get me to give her a $25 tip.
That's crazy.
1, your Reiki didn't work, boo. 2, so I'm not going to give you a tip, but I was able to actually pick up on her intentions. So she was hoping that I would come out of this hypnotic state and be like, here's a $25 tip, without thinking.
Wow. That's messed up.
Exactly. So,
All spiritual people ain't good.
It's part of your boots being on the ground. Sometimes you got to go through like the negative stuff to know that there is not all spirituality is positive and that there's lots of manipulators. But there's also lots of people of the light. So sometimes you got to go through the bad so that you know who is of the light, who's actually good people who are there of the heart to actually help you.
Yeah.
Because we've been through the ringer with that. But anyways.
So let's talk about hypnosis manipulation. And this goes on the ignoring your intuition. Your intuition might say, I feel like I should not. You might go to try to do, what do you call it? Past life regression, hypnosis, or something like that. And then your intuition is telling you, I don't know why, but look at that person's picture and they said I shouldn't do it. But then your friend's like, oh, you should go do it. Or I went to go see them. And then you go there and you know you obviously got hypnotized. Mm-hmm. And then you're seeing this person every week spending $100 and nothing ever happened. They keep telling you, oh, you're going to feel something different. You're going to feel something different. You just got manipulated through hypnosis. Mm-hmm. So be careful with people who do hypnosis.
Exactly.
Okay, you start becoming paranoid. Mm-hmm. Everything is spiritual.
Something's out to get you.
You got in a little minor fender bender and you were on your phone and you think it's a spiritual lesson or something like that, when really if you weren't on your phone this wouldn't have happened. Mm-hmm. But you're like, oh my god, this is spiritual. It's like, no, just get off your phone. That wouldn't have happened.
You got no money in your bank account. Stop spending it. It's not. Yeah. It's not something opposite.
And then also that also brings up the good about people who think like any bad thing that happened that they have witchcraft on them. They think they're being spiritually attacked. Mm-hmm. And sometimes life just happens.
Exactly.
Do some people do stuff to people? Yes. And you just go see a psychic to get clarification on that.
Exactly.
Or get your own deck of cards, see what you get.
Exactly.
But yes.
And some things are just a lesson.
Yeah. Some things just happen. Some people are actually going through like a karmic cycle also. Where bad things just keep happening to them.
Exactly.
You can get rid of that also.
What?
Can't you get rid of that also? Get out of a karmic cycle?
Yes. Oh, I didn't know. When you said you did, I thought you meant like cut that part out of the video. In my mind, I was like, what?
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, do you still do it? But you're not doing that, right? You're not doing that anymore.
Yeah, I'm taking a break.
Yes.
Eventually, I'll be back.
Okay.
Email me so you can get put on a list of when I start doing
getting yourself out of karmic cycles.
That's right.
Okay. So also getting taken advantage of by spiritual gurus and spiritual people. Spiritual group, that is huge. You think these people are your people and they're just manipulating you and taking advantage of you and taking your money. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And a lot of some spiritual gurus, and not just spiritual gurus, spiritual practitioners.
Yes.
They'll try and manipulate you into leaving your family, into leaving your friends. And
that's a cult.
They're toxic. Mm-hmm. Like they're toxic, or they'll tell you certain things that are little by little just watching you like pull away from what is common sense, or the people that really care about you, so that they can keep manipulating you.
Those are true manipulators. And then some people end up in a cult. So please listen to your friends.
And they don't even know.
Yeah, you're in a cult, you don't even know. Or in what do you call it?
Didn't we do a video about a cult? Like you have to dress a certain. Okay, anyway, never mind.
We might have. That would be a good video to do though. But I don't know what we talk about. But you actually start isolating yourself and become a hermit because you don't want to deal with the outside world. Spiritual people have a lack of. Negative is some people.
The negative side is a lack of discernment.
Yes. I can't read. Lack of discernment. Like I said, not listening to your intuition. Believing any guru. That's I read it twice. You start dropping good people because they don't agree with you. You might be spiritual and then your family might be Catholic, so you're like, oh, I can't hang out with them anymore because they're Catholic and they're negative. That's not good. Also, let's talk about the weed, the hallucinogenics, the mushrooms. Some people start taking those and they start becoming hyper paranoid. And also people take them and they actually open themselves to a frequency of negative energy. They might get an attachment.
And people thinking that they need to do those types. You can do whatever you want, but some people think that they have to do the hallucinogenics to get to spirituality.
When not everybody has to. Some people can get mental illnesses
from weed and mushrooms and hallucinogenics.
Exactly. Some people. So it's important, you guys, trust your intuition when you're going through a spiritual awakening. Trust your intuition. Some people think that, when they go through a spiritual awakening, all of a sudden they got to become vegan. They can't watch certain things on TV. They can't listen to certain things on the radio. They can't be around certain people. And they give up some of their joys. And it doesn't, just because you're going through a spiritual awakening does not always mean that. Spiritual awakening is about getting on the right vibration, connecting to your highest self, getting more connected to your gods and really your guides, and changing your life for the better, and actually seeing that there's more out there.
And finding balance, finding joy in life, appreciating your life.
Yeah.
That's what spirituality is really about,
Yeah.
in our opinion.
Yeah. There's way more positive benefits of a spiritual awakening than there are negative. But we also know that we're just going to keep it real with you guys and say that there's negative things, and we want to tell you guys those things so you can be, prepared. Don't fall for every spiritual gimmick that's out there.
Yes, and then also getting taken advantage of by overpriced spiritual, what do you call it? Not conferences. What do you call those things? Like people go to like the jungle and they do ayahuasca ceremonies. What do you call those things? Mm-hmm. I don't know what you call those things. Retreats, spiritual retreats. Mm-hmm. So people getting like overly charged spiritual retreats. Also people doing ayahuasca. Some people actually feel better. Some people feel worse. Use your intuition. If your intuition saying don't do it, don't do the ayahuasca. Mm-hmm. Also people meditating excessively.
Oh yeah,
that is horrible. You cannot. That is not good because you basically are not here, and you basically become an airhead. You're not present at all on your earthly experience.
Yeah, you start tapping into alternate realities, and you start believing that that is what you're channeling, hearing, seeing, and that's what's going on in life. But you're not recognizing you're channeling or connecting to alternate realities, which then leads to paranoia, delusion. Exactly.
Another negative that's not on our list that came up. Spirit said that people thinking that a spiritual awakening is just about like opening the third eye. Now some people are like, oh, I have to open my third eye to be considered like spiritual. There's other ways to be spiritual within spirit, and finding out, like we do in our course, about what type of like how you receive messages.
But what are the other things you're talking about? Like,
no, some people go, oh, I opened my third eye, and they think that they opened their third eye, but they really didn't. They might have opened their heart.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not always about the third eye.
So you're saying some people just think spiritual awakening
is just opening the third eye.
But then you're saying other things. Like, what do you mean, like, other things? Like, you mean just, like, becoming a better person?
Yeah.
Okay.
Opening your heart, forgiveness. That is, that's not opening. Always a third eye experience. Mm-hmm. That's what people say it is.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Spirit says everybody's constantly going through a spiritual awakening.
Okay.
They said everybody.
In different ways.
Exactly. So when you finally find peace with somebody, that's actually part of a spiritual awakening. Like, I need to let this go because I'm stressing myself out so much.
Absolutely.
When you decide to, have more of a healthy work-life balance, that's actually, you're becoming awakened. Oh my God, this is a toxic.
Going to therapy.
Yeah, exactly. Eating healthy. You're like, man, I cannot eat this anymore.
Exactly. So people are always going through some sort of awakening, whether you like it or not.
Yes. And also a negative one they also said is people thinking that they can do all this themselves. Some people just sit there and they just read books all day, hang out by themselves, do the hermit thing. Like Archangel Michael's like, some people actually do need to go to a therapist. They do need to go to a psychologist for their spiritual journey. So like, don't be ashamed if you feel like you do need to go. Like, some people do need to go. Some people do need medication.
Thank you for bringing that up.
Because some people are schizophrenic. They are bipolar. You are not psychic. You actually need to go seek help and go get medication.
Exactly.
Therapy.
Because I always say there's a spiritual cure to everything. Like you said, I can just read, I can just journal, and it's like, oh, I don't need to go to a therapist. I can just clear this by the light. I can just clear this through energy. And spirit is like, you are a physical being, having a physical experience, and you need to take care of this physically, because you need to understand how the physical world works, the physical mechanics of life works, and stuff like that. So they said, you have a lot of things with spiritual awakening is actually people become ungrounded.
Yes.
And it is your job, it is your job to start coming back actually down to earth. And seeing what earth for what it really is, and what your physical steps that need to be taken in your physical lifetime. So that means if you're going to be a healer, you have to take physical classes to become an energetic healer. You have to go physically on the internet to actually physically look up something. You might not be able to find it with your mind. You have to physically do stuff. Don't forget people. Or you're going to lose your mind in the long run.
Absolutely.
Or you're going to feel abandoned and be like, why Spirit didn't heal me? Why Spirit didn't do this? And Spirit was like, well, we kept nudging you to go on the internet and look up a naturopath. You wouldn't do it. You kept sitting there hoping for Archangel Michael to heal you energetically. And they're like, no, it's too physical.
Absolutely.
And sometimes, guess what? The physical heals the spiritual people. If you're... Because they keep telling me to tell this to people. People think, oh, I'm just going to heal this energetically. It's going to heal my body physically. It's actually the reverse on top of that. If your foot is broken, and I can, maybe me as an energy, I'm going to look at you and say, I see your foot's broken. I can see it energetically. It's not going to be able to be fixed by energy. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. You're going to go to the doctor. You're going to go to the physical doctor. You're going to get your physical cast on, and it's going to physically heal. Biology is going to physically heal, and then I'm going to be able to look at your soul and say, oh, your foot must be healed. I can see it. So the physical can actually change spiritually. Not everything needs to come from the top to the bottom. Because energy goes like this, down and back up. But it also can come back this way from the physical and back up and clear you spiritually. Hence, why when you do magic, people use chickens and physical chickens. Physical this. Don't get too ungrounded, people. You'll lose yourself.
Reiki, the physical body. The hands,
Using the physical hands on the physical body. We are here to have a human physical experience.
Exactly.
Not to get lost in La La Land up there.
I heard somebody told me, like, we're not here, and I was like, so if I slap you, you won't feel it. And they were like, I'll feel it, but it didn't happen. I was just like, oh, okay.
Some people say, some people say you're just observing. But I think that's like, maybe they're like, we're the observer.
They were serious too, and I was just like, oh, okay.
Anyways.
I was like this video, subscribe, share this video.
Or enroll in the Oracle Card Readers Academy and book your reading today. And until next time.
Bye.